Welcome to Four Figure Discount. This week we're here to review the annual Christmas episode. It is She of Little Faith, episode DAB-F02. I am Dando.
And I am Guy. Look, we should maybe say Merry Christmas, but instead we'll say Namaste, friends. You know, given the whole Buddhism theme of the episode, we're about to talk about She of Little Faith. As mentioned, I am Guy. That is Dando. I don't know if... Hang on, no. That is Dando.
Yeah,
I don't
sideways. Depends which way I put it this week.
And I think it's a pleasure to be here, but we'd better ask the man himself. Dando, how are you, mate? You doing all right?
I'm doing very good. On the weekend, I bought myself this scanner, right? So for the longest time, I've got this fucking shitloads of family albums of old family photos. And everyone keeps saying to me, you're going to scan them, you're going to scan them. I had this printer-scanner combo, and it was just no good.
No,
so I went, screw it. I went to Officeworks, and I got a proper scanner on the weekend, and I've just been scanning old photos. I mean, the patrons have been treated as some old school Dando early 90s photos over the weekend. So I'm very happy because when Nan passed away last May, she had all these photo albums, and it's just been so great just going through and finding all these old photos that I never even knew existed of just memories that they're foggy in my memory, but now that I've seen these images of it, I'm like, it did happen. That's right, and that's what it looked like. And yeah, so it's just I'm in a good mood because I've just been going through all these old photo albums, and you know what I'm like. I love the nostalgia, and just the nostalgic. It's almost like Nan is back again, you know, because she's all these old photos of her. It's just it's good. I don't know. It sounds silly, I guess, but you know, just going through old photos just makes me feel happy.
Your weekend sounds very nice indeed. I had both highs and lows because the lovely Louise is out of town for the week. She is interstate. She's on a week-long intensive, and then she's bouncing on a trampoline. A week-long intensive for this course that she's doing up in New South Wales.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I look very... I'm looking at the camera, but I can see myself looking kind of shifty, like my eyes are going like this occasionally. Like that. So apologies for that. I mean, any amateur psychologists or body language experts out there could probably have a bit of a field day with like, what's he lying about? I think he murdered
Judge Judy would have a field day with you.
I'd have a field day with Judge Judy. But anyway, so the lovely Louise is out of town for the week. We're, of course, communicating via text, and I'm flying up to see her next Saturday morning, and we'll do the drive back from New South Wales to Victoria for about 10 hours. Ooh. 10 hours in the car together. Can't wait. But also, my good friend Natalie had her 50th birthday party. 50th. I mean, you know, she's admitting it, so, you know, let's not play coy about ages. So she had a birthday party on Saturday night, which was fantastic. Had a very, very nice time. Had a few beers, talked some shit. Good times all round.
I'm just going back to that. You said 10 hours in the car with Louise. That's going to be make or break. Is that the longest you've been together in a confined space, or?
We flew to Bali, but that was like 6 hours.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess at least you can sleep on the plane or read a book or whatever. I feel like when you're in a car together, you sort of feel like you have to at least talk for a part of it. When you're in a plane, it's just like, yep, right, lights are down, close my eyes, go to sleep. But in the car, it's like you have to engage. I hate engaging.
I feel no compulsion whatsoever to engage. I mean, I think maybe early on in the relationship I did. It's like, better keep her entertained. She'll find out how boring I am. And now that she sort of knows how boring I am, but, you know, the particular way in which I'm boring, I think she's probably like, yeah, it's good that he's not talking.
But enough about our weekend, Mr. Davis. So we're here to discuss She of Little Faith. As we said, it's the annual Christmas episode. And I say that because back in the golden era of the show, they didn't do a Christmas special every year. But it seems now they tend to do one every season. We had the Funzo episode. We had Skinner's Sense of Snow. Now we've got She of Little Faith. And I say this is the Christmas episode of the season, but still, I feel like it's not a Christmas episode. It's just an episode kind of set at Christmas.
Didn't feel especially Christmassy.
No, not at all. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that. Not to say not to say that I didn't like it. I just don't really feel you can call this a Christmas episode. Even though the last act does kind of feel Christmassy, but I feel if you're not going to discuss Christmas until the final act of the episode, you can't call it a Christmas episode.
Look, even if you're going to say all that, I mean, honestly, with that final third and everything, it's like, are they trying to get Christmassy on us? Because, I mean, it just... it felt very wedged in.
It did, yeah.
Very unnatural. and yeah, not especially cheerful. It just, it felt like a Christmas episode in August or something.
Yeah, exactly right.
It didn't have a very ho 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 feel to it.
But apparently, Al Jean and the writers wanted it that way. They wanted to sort of slide into the Christmas angle rather than be just a Christmas episode. Which I don't know. I like Christmas, so I feel like I wish it was more Christmassy.
Well, I like Christmas as well. But I mean, I also think if you're going to do a Christmas episode, do a Christmas episode. Don't half-ass it or sort of, try to sidewide around it or something like that, and then just throw in, a few Christmas sweaters and a tree and ho 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 at the end, and expect that to, sort of create, goodwill on earth and peace on earth and goodwill to all men. It's not going to work. It didn't work this time around.
No, definitely not. I still did like it. I thought it was a really nice story, except for the fact that it pretty much had the exact same template as Lisa the Vegetarian, where she realizes that she wants a change in her life, and then all of a sudden they shoehorn a celebrity guest star who suits that particular change. So we had Paul McCartney in Lisa the Vegetarian with being a vegan, and then we had Richard Gere here with being a Buddhist, and they enlightened her at the end.
The most famous Buddhist.
Yeah, they enlighten her at the end and make her realize, you've got it all wrong. You can do this, you can do that. And she goes, and everyone's happy in the end. Except the only difference here is, at least in this one, she wasn't pushing her beliefs on everyone else, which is what the story of Lisa the Vegetarian was. Here, it was more everyone else trying to pressure her into not being a Buddhist. So it was sort of reverse roles there, but still the whole celebrity cameo angle was exactly the same.
It was very much. And look, I'm very partial to Richard Gere, so I was happy when he showed up. I've got no problem with that. The whole thing about everyone sort of seemingly quite desperate to reconvert this one girl, sort of bring her back to the fold seemed, I don't know, a little weird to me. I mean, I think it's especially weird when you've got a priest outside a window telling a young girl, lick it, lick it. I mean...
Didn't even think of it like that.
That could be read any number of ways. But, I mean, I think the problem, and it's not a huge problem, but the issue that I had with this particular episode is one that I have with a fair few of recent episodes. It doesn't feel like it's got a strong sort of central idea. It feels like a few ideas that are sort of mashed together. Yeah, and not always successfully. I mean, sometimes you get a bunch of ideas that may not seem they'll work well together, and then all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, we've put Voltron together. Fantastic. This time around, it just felt like, I think Richard Gere's got a hole in his schedule. He likes Buddhism. We can talk about Buddha. Yeah, we'll also throw some Christmas in there, and I mean, I think I'm reading up on the sort of the origins of this episode. I think the writer of it, I'm going to mispronounce his name. In fact, I'm going to bypass it completely because Bill something. Sorry,
would you like me to read it out?
Please do.
The writer of the episode was Bill Freiberger.
I was about to say Feingold. So
it's either Freiberger or Freiberger. I'm going to say or Freiberger. Okay. Maybe Freiberger. Sorry. F-R-E-I. Freiberger.
So I was in the neighbourhood, Bill but still hopelessly lost. He made mention that he came up with the opening act about the rockets and everything like that.
Yeah, a past experience of his from his childhood. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it just feels like, how can we connect all these things? And sometimes you can do that successfully, and sometimes you can do it in a way that's like, okay, I guess this sticks along. This is going to hold together for approximately 24 minutes. Let's get the episode done.
It's just kind of like Lisa. So she turns her back on Christianity because the church sells out to Mr. Burns. But it's because your father blew the church up. So there's not like they just decided, hey, we're just going to start making money. They needed money in order to survive. And then by the end of the episode, does the church just go back to normal again? Because Burns just gives them the money and he leaves. And that's never mentioned again. So it's like, why is Lisa no longer a Christian? She turned her back on the entire religion as a result of something that doesn't actually matter anymore.
True, but I think she did find a bit more solace and a bit more resonance with Buddhism as opposed to
I agree, yeah.
the very vague version of Christianity that the Simpsons seem to practice. I mean, they're just sort of garden variety Christians, but they don't seem to be like a subset of anything. I don't know if they're Catholic. I don't know if they're I don't think they'd be Church of England. They're not Presbyterian or Lutheran or anything like that. I don't know what they are. I mean, I think they're people who go to church.
Yeah. And that's, I don't know, that just seems to be the American way.
Kind
on TV.
of.
Yeah. But what did you think of Richard Gere's performance? You said you enjoyed it. I felt his performance a little dull, but maybe that's just who he is. He was really great to work with, but he just didn't feel like he was giving it all that much.
Well, I don't think the role called for all that much either. I mean, I think he was meant there to be sort of Richard Gere, Buddhism spokesman. And,
true.
And sort of give off a very sort of calm, peaceful vibe. It's like, hey, I'm Richard Gere, star of Pretty Woman, an officer of gentleman, international sex symbol, silver fox before Clooney was a silver fox, all that kind of deal. But hey, I'm not letting it get to me because, I've got the Buddha in my life, so I'm just chill. So I think his tone and his approach was appropriate. Yeah, I mean, it's not it's not a character part, and it's not exactly an advertisement for, hi, I'm Richard Gere and I'm on The Simpsons this week. It's more like, I'm here to tell you a little bit about Buddha. I mean, he's a bit like, the sort of the youth pastor of jokes, like they actually have in this episode. Hey, I know a guy with long hair and some crazy ideas, So Richard Gere's the Buddhism version of that. It's like, hey, there's a guy called the Buddha, and you might want to check him out. He's actually got some an interesting way of looking at the world. And of course, Lisa fell for it. Not fell for it, but Lisa was very taken with. And in all honesty, I mean, look, I've done a little reading on Buddhism in the past and Zen and, a few other sort of belief systems to sort of wrap my head around. I mean, I don't think I've got the discipline and the frame of mind to go all in on the Buddha. But, I certainly think it's an interesting way of viewing the world.
His approach to appearing on the show is very similar to Paul McCartney's, where he said that Lisa must remain... But actually, no. Paul McCartney said that Lisa must remain a vegetarian. Richard Gere said he'll only appear if Buddhism was portrayed correctly and treated and not sort of made fun of, and if he gets to say the words free Tibet. Well, he wanted Lisa to say free Tibet, but ended up he being the one to say free Tibet. Yeah. But they did take a similar approach to writing stuff where they wanted to have a bit of a character change with Lisa, and it's good when they introduce something as serious as this that they actually stick with it. And she's still a Buddhist to this day. It's similar with the vegetarian thing. And I think that's a really, really cool thing. I mean, particularly with the vegetarian angle as well, because no one really spoke about vegetarianism on TV, particularly on a kids show in the 90s. And the fact that they were the sort of, a lot of people sort of see that episode as like, they sort of say Lisa Simpson introduced a whole generation of kids to being a vegetarian and being a vegan. And I think they really enjoy writing for the character of Lisa, the writers, because I think they relate to her the most, and it sort of comes through.
I think so, and look, to maybe use an ill-chosen phrase here, writing about Lisa, it puts a little meat on the bone. I mean, she rarely sort of goes about things in a shallow fashion. I mean, she takes a moral and a fairly major stance when it comes to not eating meat. Her initial purpose, at least in sort of seeking out Buddhism, is she's pissed off with the commercialization of modern religion. I mean, these are not super weighty topics, but I mean, they've got a little bit of substance to them. And yeah, I think you're right. I think it's I think the writers do respond to that. They, of course, they're going to, do a few cheap gags and all that kind of business. But if they can actually base the episode or base the story in something substantial, then it's to the show's benefit, I think. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not surprised that they say they enjoy writing for Lisa. Yeah,
the episode was actually nominated for the Primetime Emmy for what's the award? The Outstanding Animated Program for programming less than an hour. But they lost. They lost to Futurama.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Roswell the Enswell, which is one of my favorite Futurama episodes of all time. So it was a good episode to lose to, but it would have been pretty funny being Matt Groening saying, I lost to myself.
Hey, my favorite.
What was your favourite moment from She of Little Faith?
All right. Well, hang on a sec. Let me just slap these bad boys on because I've got new frames.
Ooh, very sexy.
The sum of the square root of any two sides of a isosceles triangle is equal to the square root of the remaining two sides.
Oh, man. I was going to quote that and then realised I couldn't, so I just went with nerd.
I had a couple of little favourite bits. One when Lisa was on the God cam at the new commercial church, and they gave her the thing Pouting Thomas.
I just liked God cam.
God cam was pretty neat, but Pouting Thomas and a nice riff on Doubting Thomas. Thought that was actually quite funny. And also at the end of that scene in the church, just where Dan's wailing as Homer and he's sort of doing a lot of how was that? That's a little much. So he tones it down a bit. I just thought that his muted wails kind of were quite funny. So yes, I enjoyed that a whole lot. What were your favourite bits from the episode, Mr. Dando?
Before I get to my favourite moments, can I just say, did you see my chair drop down just then? Were you paying attention to me? So viewers on YouTube be well aware.
I'm just looking at myself. I'm not looking at you at all.
Okay. So I actually pushed the button for the chair to go down. I just went, boop. I really liked Ralph and Milhouse as the pony. I thought that was very funny stuff. More sugar, please.
He was very confident about that. I must admit, it was a nice, unexpected gag.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think there would be a horse in the rapping, but I didn't think there would be a pantomime horse with Ralph and Milhouse. I don't know why Milhouse was so excited. I mean, yeah, well, I guess every kid's are excited about sugar, but Ralph seemed to be the one who was getting all the sugar.
Yeah, which is probably why Milhouse is very excited to go get some finally. But I just thought I feel the writers now see Ralph as a very important character because he appears a lot more often than he used to. You know, I think he sort of became that sort of maybe season 8-ish onwards really likable character. And if you say to people now, who's your favourite character? A lot of people say Ralph Wiggum. They just love the little guy. And it was nice to see him appear in this. I also liked Milhouse's eyebrows getting blown off.
Oh, that's just sadistic.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, though, that the next scene, they'll just back again. I was like, if you're gonna go with that, at least have them gone. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I enjoyed the part I enjoyed the most was Ralph and Milhouse. Just the more sugar, please.
Next question. You there, eating the paste.
Alrighty. First question comes from yourself, Mr. Davis. Take it away.
Does it now? Okay, then.
It certainly does.
The commercialized robe that Reverend Lovejoy is asked to wear is advertising which eatery?
You got me. What is it?
It's Fatso's Hash House.
Fatso's Hash House. Sounds delicious.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. What's your favourite hash brown? Like, do you like Macca's hash browns? They're a bit small for my liking.
Well, then you just order 2 of them.
No, that is true.
Or more.
We're not all made of money, though, Mr. Davis.
Please, patrons, keep us in hash browns.
Pay us in hash. Yes, pay us in hash. My first question is, what is the last 4 digits of Homer's credit card? What are the last 4 digits?
0709.
Yes, I'm assuming you've got the whole number written down there.
I did. I figured you might be asked. I thought you were going to ask for the whole thing.
I thought about it and I went, that's just sadistic, as you said earlier with the eyebrows. So I won't do that. That's just mean. It's cruel. But I knew that. See, the thing about this Zoom call now, the fact that we're vodcasting this on YouTube is that I can tell when you're cheating and looking at your notes.
Oh.
See, if we were just doing this over the phone, you could have just gone 0709 and we were correct, sir. Well done. How did you know that? You would have gone, oh, well, you know, I'm just a very smart person. But no, well done. Yes. Just for those playing at home, his number is 5784 3653 4341 0709. How many viewers do you think went and tried to purchase things with that credit card number after that?
I'd say we're definitely in double figures. I don't think we made triple figures.
Yeah, probably not, but there would have been definitely some.
I think so.
What's your next question?
Who is the 5-time shuttle alternate advertising the toy rocket? What's his name and rank?
Oh, Chet something, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Chet Manor? Chet Manners?
Very close. Yep, that's close, but do you know his rank?
Oh, his rank, no, what is it? No.
He's a colonel. But I think you get it.
Corporal.
You got it.
How many babies did Nibbles originally have?
5.
No.
What?
Wouldn't it be 8? Because he's saying goodbye to his 5 kids, or she already ate 3, or was it saying that he's now down to 2?
I thought it was down to 2.
Okay, I thought he was saying.
But
I thought he's saying goodbye to his wife and 5 babies. He's like, no. Wait, no, because Marge says he's leaving her behind with 5 babies, and Bart then says she already ate 3.
Yeah.
See, I took that as 8 down to 5. Okay, could be taken either way. You're correct, regardless. Well done.
Hey, thanks. All right, let's have a look and see what we got here. I got one or two more on this page, but I do have more over the other page. I did a few this time around.
Yeah. It was a good episode for trivia, I found. I've got like 6 here.
Indeed. What date is Richard Gere's birthday?
August something? Is it August?
Yes.
August. For some reason, I've got either August 31st or August 28th. Is it either of those dates?
It is one of those dates.
28th.
Flip a coin.
Damn it!
31st.
I don't know why 28th was in my head as well. Anyway.
All right.
My next question is, which famous musician has already done enough for the Springfield Church?
Oh, Bowie.
Bowie, yeah.
The late, great David
How
Bowie.
Random. Funny gag, though. He's already done enough for this church. Yeah,
All right. Do we...
let's just smash the room. Why not? It's fun. I love trivia.
Oh, cool. Okay, then. What night at the church do they play blackjack?
I don't know, but it's either 1 of 7, so I'm going to say Tuesday.
Oh, my God, you're right.
I don't know why I guessed Tuesday. Tuesday just
the big
feels like a
neon
blackjack
sign at the front
day.
says Tuesday night is blackjack night.
Yeah, maybe it's just subconsciously in my mind hearing them say that.
Could well be.
What is the name of, I want to say Jimbo's mother's boyfriend or Jimbo's stepdad or whatever?
Oh, yeah, I think Jimbo's mother's boyfriend. Oh. Now, I want to say Chester?
No, it's the name of the captain of the Iceland hockey team in D2, the Mighty Ducks.
Fuck would I know that?
It's Gunner.
Honestly, I've never seen a Mighty Ducks movie. Never have.
At all, ever?
No.
Well, we should do it for Patreon, just for fun.
Probably, yeah.
I don't care if you shit on the movie. Like, it'd just be fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think by the time it came out, I was probably a bit aged out. And I was also like, I don't think I like Emilio Estevez that much. I mean, I know a lot of people like Emilio. But, I mean, he's never done anything wrong to me. But, I mean, it's like, I don't think Emilio's enough of a draw card for me to watch The Mighty Ducks or D2, The Mighty Ducks sequel.
Or D3. The Quack is back.
Did you know that in Australia, before it was called The Mighty Ducks, it was just called Champions?
Yeah, well, I had the video. It was so confusing as a kid because I had the videotape and it was called Champions. And then my mate, for so long when DVDs became a thing, I tried to buy the DVD, couldn't find it anywhere, but it's because it was called The Mighty Ducks. So confusing for like 11-year-old Dando.
Do you know the most confusing titling sequence ever, though? Get a load of this. First Blood, Rambo First Blood Part 2, Rambo 3, Rambo Last Blood.
What about Mad Max? Wasn't it The Road Warrior or something?
It was renamed The Road Warrior for the States.
Yeah.
And here we called it Mad Max 2. So it was Mad Max 2, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max Fury Road.
Why did they change it to The Road Warrior?
I don't think Mad Max had actually sort of gained a lot of traction in the States. So when I think they looked at Mad Max 2 and thought, oh, this will do well. I mean, this is actually really well made. But, you know, throwing it to the Americans saying, hey, check out Mad Max 2. It's like, where's Mad Max 1? And, you know, this is in the sort of this is not even pre-VHS, but it's very early days of home video even. Mm-hmm. This is the early 80s. So, you know, I think Mad Max only played in like grindhouses and drive-ins over in the States. So I thought they'd just go with a clean slate.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, my next question is...
Yes.
Actually, no, it's your next question because I asked you the Mighty Ducks question.
Oh, okay.
Do one more each.
One more. Sorry, I'm going back to... How much do you pay for all-you-can-eat meatball sandwiches? According to Lenny.
in his dreams,
Yes.
is it $2?
$2.
Yeah, man, that would be amazing. Unlimited Subway sandwiches. Whew.
Ooh, we can eat meatball sub.
Yeah, pretty damn good. All right, my final question is, profits had increased by what percentage at the church?
I think there was one point where I wasn't listening. I want to say 1,000%.
1,073%.
I was close.
You were close, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Alrighty, guys, that is trivia. We're going to return just after this quick break with our full, in-depth review of She of Little Faith. The original air date for She of Little Faith was December 16th, 2001, almost on Christmas. It was written by Bill Freiberger, I want to say. Freiberger?
If it's burger, let's say fry burger, because
Sounds better, doesn't it? Delicious.
It sounds tastier.
I want to eat that, man. Directed by Stephen Dean Moore. Chalkboard gag, I do not have a cereal named after me. And the couch gag is that the couch is a slot machine with the family appearing. Mm-hmm. The episode kicks off with what, Mr. Davis?
With rain delay theatre. This looks great. I think I've told the story in the past about how my good friend Ollie, when we were about 16 or 17, took me to the Boxing Day test at the MCG, and for about 3 hours I was just so bored because it was cricket. But then it got rained out, so we got to go to the movies.
Is that the story where you say you went and saw Rocky afterwards?
We went and saw Rocky 4.
Yeah. For me though, I always knew the cricket was getting rained out when like Skippy reruns were on at like 2:30 on a Saturday afternoon when the cricket was on.
But having said that, I mean, look, with Rain Delay Theatre, I totally would have watched The Planet from Outer Space, as they are calling
How great is that title?
That's very, very good. But I mean, a lot of my misspent childhood, you know, you do vaguely athletic things on a Saturday morning. You'd go run around an oval or play some footy or whatever. And I'm talking like very, very young. And then you'd come home. Well, I'd come home. This was in the... Oh, God. This is a very long time ago. But there'd usually be some black and white science fiction or monster movie on Channel 7 or whatever. I remember seeing Earth versus the Flying Saucers, and I was like, oh, man, this is rad. You know, I got my little ham sandwich, got a little glass of cordial or something. Earth versus the Flying Saucers is on.
The ham sandwich.
Yeah. I think it might have been a toasted ham and cheese sandwich and a glass of cordial.
Good Saturday treat, for sure.
Very, very nice. Yeah. So, yes, The Planet from Outer Space, with its dodgy science and alien dog, yes, struck a chord with me. Absolutely.
A male dog.
A male dog.
Then they will return after these very loud messages, and then we get Chet Manners plugging the Orbit King. I was thinking about this recently, actually. I do miss TV ads. You know, when they used to sell... During the day, when you had a day off school, they'd be like, not you obviously, but like I'd have a day off school in the 90s and they'd say, you know, for just $39.99, you can purchase the first 6 episodes of MASH and then just a monthly fee of $70 for 3 episodes after that each month. You know, I love those midday TV ads. Just what would be like your favorite? Like remember the Sham Wow? That was a really popular one. It was everywhere. What was your favorite like product they would always try and flog on TV?
I think I was very partial to those tape collections you're talking about.
Yeah. It was the only way to get the show back then. Yeah,
and you still get those ads now. Apparently, because you can't buy like the entire series of A Country Practice or Carson's Law or
Country Practice. No, actually, A Country Practice is now all on that 7+ or whatever it is. I put it on the other day because it was one of my nan's favorite shows. Like I hear that music and I think of school holidays because we always go to Nan's for school holidays. And I put it on and I was just like, Nan's house.
Back to Wandon Valley.
Yes. It's
I was very partial to those, but they always seemed like very sort of... Well, first of all, the prices seemed obscene.
Oh, the first month was okay. But then after that, you're fucked.
So, I'd say that would be my favourite. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So he's trying to sell the Orbit King, but gets sucked in straight away because of the yaw control.
Hey, Lise, is Dad's credit card number 578-436-5343-410709? You know it is.
Did you know your parents' credit card number off by heart?
He just knows it off by heart.
Well, Nicola knows ours off by heart. I don't know mine off by heart. Do you know yours off by heart?
Oh, fuck no.
Nicola knows everything. Like she knows every number. So 6 to 8 weeks later, because that's what it was like back then. No fucking like express next day delivery like Amazon or whatever.
no.
You had to wait weeks.
No, there was no Amazon Prime back in the day.
No. When you ordered shit like that over the phone, when it arrived, you forgot that you'd already ordered it. It'd been that long, you know? And then Homer singing Floss It. I did like this. I did like it when Homer sings his own renditions of songs. You must floss it.
By the way, a quick split-second gag that I wanted to give respect to is when Chet Manners is flogging the Orbit Kid or whatever, and he's, I think he alludes to the fact that he never actually got to fly in the space shuttle. You got this split-second look of sadness that comes across his face when he says that.
I never noticed
it. Was nice. It was nice work from the animators. Like, I may not have set foot on the shuttle. But,
it would be annoying though if you train your whole life to be an astronaut and never actually end up in space. Would you feel like a failure?
Oh. I think, you would probably fill your life with all manner of hobbies and the love of family and, service to the community and all that kind of stuff. But I bet on your deathbed, 2 or 3 seconds before you shuffle off this mortal coil and going, I traded it all to go into space just fucking once.
Just once, yeah.
And hopefully your family's not there when you say that. I'd trade all of you for 5 seconds in the great outer space.
Bart asks Homer for help to build his rocket. He puts in his contact lens. How random was that? I was like, they just want to have people go, oh, wow, I didn't know he had contact lenses. Like, it doesn't go anywhere.
A lot of really sort of random throwaway gags in this, and a lot of them, some are fine, but some are like, don't really see the point of this. It's,
neither do I.
It's not adding humor, and it's not adding structure to the story. It's just, filigree, I think you'd call it. Anyway.
So Homer
let's continue.
Homer then decides he will help because he thinks he's supporting pie pants and as opposed to science. Now, I've got here, what's the thing that Homer puts on his head? What's that dish called? Is
that a colander?
Colander, that's it, right. I just couldn't think of the name. Yeah. I knew you'd know it. You do love your cooking.
By the way, with pie pants...
Yeah.
That's the first time in a while we've heard an something, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure he said it last week, didn't he?
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, it's last week. No, when was the Hunk of Burns in Love? Because he's like, pistol whip.
Oh, okay. Well, consider me corrected and ignorant. Honestly, it felt like such a long time since he'd said something, because that was his thing.
I think I said that when he said pistol whip 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so he's wearing his helmet. I do love when he put his various hats. And then it, of course, because Homer builds it, it explodes immediately. Milhouse loses his eyebrows.
This is Launch Master Homer counting down. 5, 4, 3, 1.
My eyebrows! My beautiful eyebrows! Over here, Governor.
Then Flanders' rocket blasts off, and it's perfect as expected because the Flanderses are perfect at everything. And they launched it. Where did they launch it from? Ned Eddy Space Center on Cape Flanderverl or something?
Cape Fland, yeah. It was just too complicated. Although I did like his use of the term skyrotechnics. I appreciated that.
Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to that. But Milhouse, see that your control. Lands perfectly in the box. So Homer says, all right, it's time for us to build a good rocket. Homer doesn't actually do anything. He just gets the 3 nerds to come back, which I did appreciate. It was a nice little throwback to Homer Goes to College, having the 3 nerds return.
I like those nerds a lot. One other thing I liked as well is when the nerds show up. I don't know if I think it's a specific sort of reference or homage, but I mean, Homer seems to be dressed exactly like Ed Harris from Apollo 13.
I thought the exact same thing, especially when the ship's taking off and he sort of gives him a hug. Yeah.
And I think they were using a whole lot of, sort of space movie references in there as well. Yeah. I think there's a bit of Right Stuff in there as well.
Particularly the directing as well, just the visual, the way, like when Nibbles is walking towards the ship and things like that, yeah.
Yeah. But Homer with the glasses not unlike these and the pocket protector and all that, it's like, pretty sure that's Ed Harris from Apollo 13.
Yeah. What a movie, by the way.
Who wants some Astro lemonade?
What precisely makes it Astro?
Look, I don't want to start a whole thing with this.
Okay, the rocket's ready to go. Ha! Ha!
Super. Now, if you'll gather around, I'd like to say a few words. All nerds, clear the launch area.
I did dig the all nerds clear the launch area, and then Milhouse walked out with them. Nibbles, I don't know. When animals can understand English, I just sort of feel like I don't know whether this is what The Simpsons used to be like. I guess we just have to accept it now.
Yeah, look, I thought the whole Nibbles thing was okay, but I mean,
it was cute, but I was just like, come on.
Yeah, I'm just not partial to animals being launched into space. I know it sort of moved the space race forward and all that kind of stuff, but the thought of poor old Laika, the Russian space dog, being
that's horrible. That story
sent up into space, and it's like, you realise a dog, you can't bring that dog back, and it's not going to chew down on a suicide pill or something like that. Poor thing's just going to starve to death.
Yeah, it doesn't know what's going on. It doesn't understand that you're sending it into space. It's just like, what the hell's going on? Like, imagine what was going through that poor dog's mind when it was launched into space.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably exactly what was going through its mind, yes. Yeah, no, I remember reading about that. For some reason, I did a description for work. I was doing a description, actually, for Snoopy Astronaut Pop Vinyl for work. And I looked up Laika the Space Dog as a result. And I was like, that's really sad.
Yeah.
That poor dog. Oh, the poor dog. So Nibbles hits the eject button when Homer offers advice, escapes. The rocket crashes into the church, starts the fire. Homer shoots his gun at it, and then that's pretty much setting up what's going to be essentially the story.
It does. I did like that the rocket had HJS on the side.
Yes,
nice bit of branding.
Yeah, it's the worst thing Homer's ever done. And because Marge said that so much now, it's lost all meaning. That's a pretty memorable quote. I do remember that one. We can't.
Oh, by the way, the other thing that it I talked a little while ago about sort of weird throwaway gags.
Mm.
The bum in the gutter or the hobo in the gutter is like, oh, I'm off the hooch now, and throws his wine away. And some businessman who I thought was Lionel Hutz for a moment.
No, not at all. Well, Phil's gone now, so.
Well, no, of course, but I mean, I thought,
it would have been Lionel.
Yes, yeah, like, oh, I've got a bottle of rotgut, I'm going to jump in the gutter and just, it's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
What's this?
It just
unnecessary.
Yeah,
did you have like 20 seconds you needed to fill? Nah.
It's kind of you to offer, Mr. Burns, but buzz around town is that you're, well, evil.
Oh, that's just a skip rope rhyme. Believe me, the Lord's gonna go for this in a big way. Now, who's with me?
Oh, I guess we have no choice.
Excellent. Go! Oh, you'll get yours.
Then he introduces Lindsay Naegle. And, what do you think is, don't let the skirt fool you? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, nice little bit of, casual sexism.
Yes.
That's the way we rolled in the early 2000s.
We certainly did. He they offer the Reverend the robe covered in sponsors that you mentioned earlier during your trivia. And Mr. Burns is very funny here. Too bad. You've already signed the deal. I know he hasn't. Oh, well, we really value your input until you sign the deal.
I did like his enthusiasm. It's nice
Definitely.
when Burns gets enthusiastic about stuff.
What are they doing to the church?
We're rebranding it. The old church was skewing pious. We prefer a faith-based emporium teeming with impulse buy items.
I feel like I want to throw up.
Then my work is done.
Why does Jesus have a lasso?
'Cause he's all man.
It looked more like a casino than a church, didn't it? Very Vegas-y.
It does.
Yeah. Oh. That's one thing I loved about Vegas was just the big neon signs and everything. Pretty cool. Reminds me of Con Air.
Oh, God. I've never been to Vegas.
Really?
No. That was going to be my plan for my milestone birthday of recent years.
What was that, your 60th? Your 60th? For those of you playing at home, Guy just gave me the bird.
Dan will probably fuzz that out or something like that. I don't know. I was going to go to California, going to go to LA, hire a convertible, drive the Pacific Coast Highway. But one thing I really wanted to do was drive into Vegas at night.
That's what we did.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. I think that'd be great.
That's really good. What would be your song of choice when you first start hitting the road?
What's the song of choice or the music?
Yeah.
Actually, this is going to... It's not exactly rockin', but it brings to mind California. I think it's by the band America, or maybe it's by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, but it's called Ventura Highway.
I don't think I know that by name. I might know the song, though.
Ventura Highway in the sun.
I'll look it up after we finish recording. I'm sure I do know it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was certainly going to be the first song that I played. I mean, I probably would have come up with some all-American playlist or some very sort of California soft rock, middle-of-the-road 70s kind of deal.
I mean, you're saying it like you're never going to do it. You will do it one day.
Money changed. Get your money changed right here in the temple.
Ugh, that could not be more blasphemous.
Where's Bart? Do a nice one for Grandma.
Fine.
Bart pulling those faces felt very old school to me for something.
Did,
That felt very early season Bart.
Yep, that's true, yeah. Like little, just mischief Bart, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, so all the new pews are very comfy and whatnot, but Lisa just stubborn. She refuses to like it. She's totally against the whole commercialization of the church.
That's it!
Quiet, Lisa. Everyone in the store is looking at you.
They should take a good look at themselves and what their church has become.
Lisa, it's still the same basic message. We've just dressed it up a little.
Like the whore of Babylon?
That is a false analogy.
No, it's not. It's apt. Apt!
Now, the Noid to Australian listeners, Australian viewers on YouTube, is the Domino's pizza mascot, I believe, in America.
I think the Noid was supposed to be a bit of a pest.
Yes.
Who,
I'm assuming he never speaks because that's the gag here. He gets interrupted before he can speak. I'm assuming he must never talk.
Oh, okay then. Was the Noid ever on Australian TV? I don't think we ever got
I don't think so, but the Noid is Domino's, right? Let me just look it up just to make sure.
I believe so, yeah. And
yeah, Noid Domino's
I think the
pizza,
Noid sort of came up to show you, like, there's going to be all manner of obstacles stopping you from getting your pizza on time, and here's the Noid, fucking with the delivery driver.
Like he's annoying, yeah.
The Domino delivery driver is so bloody dedicated to getting you your pizza on time and hot that, they'll just outwit the Noid at every turn, apparently.
Okay. Well, the Noid disappeared for a while.
Something else entirely, because I just made that up off the top of my head.
The Noid hasn't been seen for like 4 years now. I think they sort of phased him out. I think their branding now is not an annoying guy trying to stop you from getting pizza. It's just a Domino.
It's just a cheap shit pizza. Sorry, Domino's. It's not a good pizza.
I've had one Domino's pizza in my entire life, and maybe it was the alcohol talking, but yeah, it wasn't very good. It normally pizza tastes better after a few beers, and this one I can safely say did not.
There's that old line about sex is like pizza. Even when it's bad, it's pretty good. These people have not had Domino's.
That's exactly right. Oh, man.
Sorry, Domino's.
Fuck 'em.
We are willing to take all this back if you want to advertise on 4-finger discount. You can really taste the Domino.
That's good Domino's.
That's good pizza. From Domino's. Yes. See, we have no shame whatsoever.
Lisa is where are we up to? I've lost where we're up to again.
The Noid.
Lisa interrupts the Noid.
Being
That's
a
right,
grouch.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and Homer's line here was great. Lisa, everyone in the store is looking at you. But so it's just she's just annoyed with the commercialization of the church, so she storms out. But Reverend here is great. It's just the same basic message. We've just dressed it up a little bit.
Pretty much. Yeah. And look, I would probably be the kind of person in a situation that I didn't like. I would probably get on a chair and yell, "Apt!" That's the kind of person I am. So,
for no reason, just to yell out the word "apt."
Apt. This is not apt.
Homer doesn't know how to feel, and as you mentioned, you get the various sad cries.
Also, let's not forget that working the door at the new church. Do you want a stamp so you can come back later? Squeak Voice Teen, represent.
Very good. We come back from commercial, and Lisa is praying for a temple free of corruption, and Marge is interfering here. I feel like Marge is the one that's sort of forcing it down her throat the most. She really doesn't want Lisa to leave Christianity, and I can understand it, you know.
I don't think Marge is necessarily pro-Christianity or anti any other religion. I just think Marge likes the status quo.
Yes.
I think she just likes...
She doesn't like change, yeah.
Fears change, yes.
Yes. But it was great here. So, Lisa, I still believe in God, you know, whether it's him or her. Oh, she's just kidding. She's just kidding. Lisa is then looking for a new faith, and Bart makes a few suggestions, like the one where eat human hearts, and Methodist, Judaism, because you can ka-ching when it's, 13? Is that when they get the money? Yeah, 13, yeah. She then goes for a walk. I always appreciate these when they have the little like neon signs.
Floating neon signs are great.
Yeah.
Yep. Love it. Always love it when that happens.
My favourite was just Amish.
Have you ever watched... There's those series like Amish Gone Wild or something. I'm not talking about pornography. I'm talking about actual like reality shows.
Oh shit! No, I never heard. Oh, that sounds like a great show.
Do you know the phenomenon known as Rumspringa?
No. Oh, was that the one where they're allowed to like go away for like a weekend or whatever?
They're allowed to step out for a year.
A year, is it? Holy shit!
Oh, I think it can maybe go up to a year. Maybe you can't go beyond a year, but yeah, if you are born Amish or born into the Amish community, you are given the opportunity to say, all right, I'm going to go into the outside world and I'm going to, try some of this wacky electricity that I've heard about, or I might wear clothes that are, neither white nor black, but another color. So, and if you think, oh wow, the outside world's for me, then you don't have to go back. But I think our friends in the Amish community are kind of like, they'll see how crap the outside world is, and they'll come back and churn some butter.
No.
So, no. But our friends at TLC, broadcaster of such great shows as 90 Day Fiancé.
Not the 90s hip-hop band.
But what's that?
Not the 90s hip-hop act.
No, not the Chasing Waterfalls gals. They had a show, I think, I've forgotten the name of it, but I think it was something like Amish Gone Wild or whatever.
That sounds fantastic.
Doesn't it sound dope? Where you'd follow, kids out on Rumspringa.
It reminds me of like 2001 pay-per-view. Amish Gone Wild. They used to have those specials back when I was a kid, late 90s, early 2000s. Jerry Springer's greatest hits. Pay $40 for 45 minutes of flesh and nudity and fucking language, all this kind of stuff.
Sounds like a deal.
It does, yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, remember when Big Brother was first on, and they had your regular episodes and all that, but then you had Big Brother Up Late.
Uncut 9:30 p.m. on a Monday.
Uncut with hot dogs.
Hot
Dogs was the host, by the way. Hot Dogs. I'm not talking about. That's not a euphemism for dicks. Hot Dogs was the host.
Yeah. But I actually used to enjoy.
But he was also a dick. So
I also enjoyed the games. They just had like the puzzles on the screen to keep you entertained when the people were sleeping in the house. Like, well, fuck, there's nothing happening in the house. Let's just play crosswords.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I will admit that I did watch me some Big Brother Up Late. When the show first started, I enjoyed it. I watched it all the time.
Same. Yeah. Oh look, I think a few years down the road, we can all admit we all watched Idol back then. We all watched Big Brother.
We did. Yeah.
Don't say you didn't. You did.
I remember being furious that Guy Sebastian beat Shannon Knoll. But let's get back on track. So enough sidetracking.
All right, she's the Amish sign has floated past her head, but where does Lisa end up?
She ends up at the Springfield Buddhist Temple, and Lenny and Carl are there. Carl mentions that if he didn't find Buddhism, he'd be going psycho on everybody. Then Richard Gere arrives and he explains the various Buddhism traits, what they believe in, what they don't, and I don't understand Lenny here not understanding anything about Buddhism. It's like, is he? I can kind of understand it, I guess, in the sense that maybe he's just there so he's with Carl.
Yeah, I get the feeling he sort of got sold on a bit of like, hey, just come in and, sit here and think about nothing and, it'll sort of ease your mind or whatever. It's like, oh, yeah, that sounds fine. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of diehard Christians who aren't necessarily up to speed with everything that's in the Bible, or they could name maybe, I don't know, 6 of the 10 Commandments, or how many disciples were there? 12? Okay, I think there were 12. They could probably name like 8 or something. No, they probably couldn't name 8. I couldn't name 4. So
you didn't even know how many there were.
I'm going straight to hell. So look, it may well be the case that there are Buddhists who are not 100% up to speed with, everything about the Bodhi tree and all that kind of business. I don't know. That's just me playing devil's advocate. Ding, 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 ding.
He gives Lisa the pamphlet, mentions how all things are impermanent, empty of inherent existence, and then we get the little message to Officer and a Gentleman about the sit-ups. That's one thing, at least Richard Gere in this was willing to poke fun at himself, and that's what Al Gina said, yeah. It's
true,
the best celebrity cameos or appearances are the ones where they get it and understand it's okay to make fun of yourself, it's all just a bit of fun, Well,
that's the thing. I like Richard Gere a lot. I mean, I saw him in movies when I was growing up. I saw Officer and a Gentleman at the cinema. Officer and a Gentleman's a really sort of a pretty gnarly movie, actually. I mean, it's got that famous final scene where he goes back and, sort of rescues Deborah Winger from the factory and, he's in his dress whites and all that. There's really a lot of bleak stuff and fairly adult stuff in Officer and a Gentleman. I mean, I shouldn't have been watching it as like a 12-year-old without sort of parental guidance or whatever, but I was like, oh, hey, this is good. And, there's people dropping the C word. Someone takes their own life. There's a fair bit of nudity in it. Having said that, it's a really good movie. So, what was I talking about? No, I like Richard Gere a lot. Yeah, sorry, I got distracted by the nudity and the C word. I like Richard Gere a lot, but he was very intense as a young actor, like a lot of young actors are. You see it with everyone from like Brad Pitt through to Robert Pattinson. They have to get it out of their system. They have to give these really sort of, in Richard Gere's case, he's sort of like bellowing at someone in Officer and I got nowhere else to go. And, after a while, he's like, I don't have to work so hard. I'm Richard Gere. I can be kind of chill, and that's when he had a bit of a comeback in the early 90s with Pretty Woman and this really good cop movie called Internal Affairs that I also recommend, but that's also pretty gnarly as well. But, he just got very sort of, I don't know if this is around the time that he embraced Buddhism or whatever, but he just was like, yeah, I don't have to work so hard. And you see that with, I think, a lot of, particularly with male actors. And you've seen it with Pitt. I mean, you look at Pitt in 12 Monkeys, for instance, and then you look at him in Ocean's 11, it's like, oh, you've calmed down. You've chilled out.
And then you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he's even more chilled out.
Exactly. And like Robert Pattinson as well. I mean, I think, there are a few movies around the time of Twilight where he's like, you're trying too hard, dude. I mean, I appreciate that you sort of want to make a name for yourself and all that kind of, but you're trying a bit too hard. And then I think a few movies down the line is like, oh, you've relaxed. Oh, that's good. You found it. You found your groove. So,
and now he is the Batman.
Which apparently they've just wrapped filming on. I can't wait for that. Ooh, yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't know if we should talk about this or talk about it on another episode, but Zack Snyder's Justice League. I watched the whole thing last week. They sent me a preview link.
Let's say that for another show, but just give in 10 seconds or less. Tell us, did Guy Davis like it, and does he recommend it?
I did actually. Yeah. I mean, it's but it's very Zack Snyder. So
Okay.
if you like 300 and you like Watchmen and other stuff that he's done, he's got a very distinctive way of doing things and a very distinctive style. And this movie is all that. I mean, the Justice League where Joss Whedon came in, as I like to call it, the Justice League. Okay, I'm fired. Was no good because it was two movies trying to. It was like an episode of The Simpsons. They had different stuff and they tried to smush it together.
It's like the Predator.
Yeah, and it didn't work at all. But this new version, it's 4 hours and it's all very Zack Snyder style. And I found myself kind of enjoying it as a result. It's very bombastic and over the top and all that, but kind of fun. It's so different from like the Marvel way of doing things that it's like, oh, yeah, you can do other things with superheroes. So we may talk about that somewhere else down the line.
You might have to send me the link.
Well, it's I think it starts Thursday. It's on Binge. As of Thursday.
I have no idea what that is.
I think it's the Foxtel streaming service.
Okay. Hopefully I get it then.
I'm sure there are other ways of getting it.
It sounds like the Schmarrit Bay for me.
It's 4 hours of superheroes going crashing into shit.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Fuck that. No way.
It's divided into chapters. You can break it up over a couple of nights.
Okay. Still. No, I'll give it a go.
I'm a Buddhist! Hey, I'm a Buddhist!
My Satan sense is tingling. Into the root cellar, boys!
When can we come out?
Maybe never.
Yay!
I did like Flanders' Satan senses tingling, much like Spidey senses. Then you think Homer is yelling at Lisa. I thought this was going to be your favourite moment, but he's actually yelling at Bart to butter his bacon.
I did enjoy that, and I'll save my favourite line from that for a little bit later. But
Okay.
that whole bit was actually good. I mean, just the sad look on Bart's face when he's got to put butter on his bacon. Oh dear.
Yeah, I know. Bacon up that sausage, boy. It's just like not even any dialogue. It's just the look of Homer like, you better. Lisa then explains that she's now a Buddhist. Homer's punishment of no more chat rooms for you. It feels very 2001. No more chat rooms because they're not a thing anymore. But I guess the modern day chat room is just like a Twitter feed.
Well,
isn't it?
they predated social media, those things.
Yeah,
I mean, it's where you went to find like-minded individuals.
Hey, Simpson, I hear your sister dumped Christianity.
Who cares?
I'll tell you someone who cares. He's got long hair, works as a carpenter, has a lot of crazy ideas about love and brotherhood.
His name's Gunner, and he's dating my mom. Sometimes he buys us beer.
I thought Kearney was dating your mom.
Hey, she came on to me. Get him!
I'm so confused by Kearney.
Yeah, that's the gag now. The gag is that it doesn't make any sense. He's got a kid. He hasn't got a kid. He's a teenager. He's an adult. It's just it's meant to be ridiculous.
This is a teenager and the parent of a teenager. That's not possible.
No, it's meant to be stupid. Yeah.
Okay, just roll with it. Okay.
Yes. Lisa
I appreciate Kearney because of this.
Lisa is then planting a Bodhi tree. Marge questions. It's very Marge. Is it because a boy at school doesn't like you, Lisa? Is that why you're acting out?
It's a very parental thing to say. I mean,
yeah.
This is me, the person with no children, telling the parent this. But it strikes me as a very parental thing to say that, yes, you're making radical changes in your belief systems and the way you view the world because my heart's broken, or something along those lines. Although, who knows?
I enjoyed the next line even more when she starts praying. That's it. You're going to get a bath tonight. I was like, that is a punishment because my kids, like Ali is 2, already hates a bath. But he loves being in the bath. But it's kind of like me going for a run. Once I'm running, I'm fine. But getting onto that treadmill, I don't want to. Burns then has the meeting to discuss the profits. He says they're going up by 1,073%. Puff of smoke. You think he's going to bail all the money, but no. He hasn't left in time, so he just chucks him a bunch of money. And that's the end of that story. It's just never mentioned again.
Yeah.
It's just like okay, well, that's the end of that. Now let's move on to the Devil's Daughter.
We've changed horses midstream, and now it's very much about Lisa and her Buddhism.
Yeah. And by the way, it's a Christmas episode now, guys. It's all about Christmas. We're like 16 minutes into the episode, but it's now a Christmas story. But I think it starts here where he says, Santa doesn't leave presents under the Bodhi tree. And I loved this line from the Reverend. You can save more souls with roller skates and easy bake ovens than this 2,000-page sleeping pill. That would have annoyed quite a few viewers, I would imagine. Marge then gets Homer to put the singing angel on Lisa's tree. Did you get a kick out of Homer dancing to it?
Yes, very much. I liked his little dance a whole lot.
Yeah, he was having so much fun. Obviously it was him doing the barking sound, but yeah, just him dancing to himself. I thought it was really good. Marge then bakes cookies but throws them out because Lisa doesn't celebrate Christmas anymore, and Bart eats them and accidentally eats a dog food lid.
I would eat those cookies out of that bin.
Oh mate, I'd eat anything out of the bin. I don't mind.
Yeah, I got no problem.
I'm very
with
George Costanza when it comes to that.
Yeah, likewise. I mean,
if they've just gone into the bin, it's fair game.
I'm a little bit discerning, but yeah, mostly I'm like, if this hasn't touched too many other rubbish items.
Yeah. If it's just on the top, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah,
nothing at all. That's no different from a plate, in my opinion.
Yeah. Listen to us, kids. Yeah.
It's now.
I think we should rename this from 4-finger discount to 5-second rule. This should be the new name of the podcast. 5-second rule.
I like it. We then get, it's now Christmas Eve, and the family all sing the carol to try and fool Lisa, try and convert her back. Then they try and fool her with the pony present. And this whole scene, I just got a big kick out of it, like pressuring her with Maggie with the candy cane. And now that you mention it, a reverend outside the window saying, lick it, lick it. It's a little concerning. I didn't look at it that way, but just Ralph. I just love the more sugar, please. It's so funny.
Happy.
Lick it. Lick it.
No!
Oh, no. Our daughter's run away on Christmas Eve.
More sugar, please.
Bags in the kitchen.
All right!
What I did also like about this was that this has been one of those recurring story themes that continues on every Christmas. Lisa wants a pony. So it makes sense that they would be offering her a pony because that's like the one thing that Lisa wants for Christmas. So if you're going to convert it back, it's going to be a pony. She runs away to the Buddhist temple. She interrupts them meditating, even though he's about to achieve enlightenment. And this is just basically the same as the end of Lisa the Vegetarian when she goes into the top of the Quickie Mart.
Your family didn't have to trick you. Buddhists respect the diversity of other religions, as long as they're based on love and compassion.
What?
It's true. So why don't you go home? I'm sure your family really misses you.
I can really celebrate Christmas?
You can celebrate any holiday. And you know, my birthday is August 31st.
Oh, I'll send you an email greeting card.
Sweet.
Richard Gere in this, I know I said he was dull, but he did come across very cool. Like just a very down-to-earth, cool guy. You know, don't you think? Just very
I think so.
Chill, I guess, you know? Is that what he's like in real life? Is he just a chill guy?
Apparently. I mean, I think the thing about Richard Gere, his whole his free Tibet stance, because he was very vocal about it, I don't think it's done him any favours because he's gone on the record and said, they won't cast me in Marvel movies because Marvel makes a lot of its money out of China, and I've been very anti-China in the past. So, I mean, he says, you know, I won't be cast in sort of big blockbusters because, you know, they don't like me in China, and Hollywood's making a lot of money in China. Luckily, you know, he sort of made his money beforehand, so he can basically go, see ya. But, yeah, I think he's a fairly laid-back individual. He certainly strikes me that way. I mean, but then, having said that, I don't know that many sort of uptight Buddhists. But I don't know that many Buddhists.
I don't know a single Buddhist. But, so Lisa's very happy by the news. She's going to send Richard Gere a birthday e-card. Is that what she says? An e-greeting card or something? Like an email?
I think so, yeah.
For his birthday, yeah. What's the whole deal with doing his hair with his stepdaughter, Hannah? Is there a joke there that I'm missing, or is it just...
I think it was probably just like he's got lovely flowing hair or something.
Yeah,
maybe he wanted to give a shout out to his daughter Hannah or something.
This next joke, I was just like, with the... We're going to go visit Mo so he doesn't have another Christmas accident. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I know, but Mo's sort of depression and morose worldview was always very, very funny.
Yeah, but it didn't need the noose. The noose to me
back
was
in the
just
day,
like,
it probably did. Probably not now, but yeah.
It just felt like I got the joke the first time. You didn't have to hold up a noose.
Yeah.
The family then gathered at home. I've got here, so she says, maybe we should call the police. So wait a minute. So it was Christmas Eve when Lisa ran out the door. What the hell has she been doing all night? Because she comes back during the day. And what have the family been doing all night? They've been out all night looking for Lisa? Like, what the fuck's... Lisa's been out all night?
I don't know, man.
Terrible.
I don't know.
Or maybe she got back early and didn't tell them that I don't know. I'm just like, so Lisa's now asleep in the living room. I'm like, when did she get back? Where have they been all night? Doesn't matter.
I did not think about this at all.
She mentions how she's still Buddhist, but she's going to accept their beliefs. And a really nice line from Marge here. I'll pray for the both of us. Very much. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then she still wants the pony, and Marge just completely ignores her, and thus is the end of the episode.
Trying to talk the way out of it, but no dice. I mean, I think Lisa's going to be keeping on with that one for a little while, and it all rounds out with a very harmonious, sitar-heavy rendition of the Simpsons theme over the closing credits.
Yes, it always feels a little bit more special when they have the outros, a different sort of version of the theme music, yeah. But
Correct.
I thought this was a nice story, kind of jumbled in the sense that the whole commercialization of religion just sort of disappeared mid episode. It was just like, yep, well, we're done with that, and now it's time for a Christmas story. I was like, I don't know, this could have been an episode without needing to be at Christmas time, I guess, you know?
I think so, yeah.
They kind of tied Christmas into it with them trying to use Christmas as a way to sway her back, but I don't know. It didn't feel, of all the Christmas episodes, this felt the least Christmassy to me.
Oh, yeah, look, I mean, the way you led into this episode of Four Finger Discount talking about it, it's a Christmas episode, I'm like, yeah, I guess it was. I mean, but it certainly didn't feel that way to me, despite all the Christmas trappings at the very end. I mean, if you didn't tell me this was the annual Simpsons Christmas episode, I would just say, honestly, when all the Christmas stuff sort of started showing up, I really thought, are they pulling like a psych on Lisa, like a mind game or something? You know, like, guess what? It's Christmas, or it's not Christmas, it's August.
Richard Gere's a triple threat.
Yeah, so, it didn't really feel like very peace on earth and goodwill to all men or anything like that. It just felt like, okay, now it's got Christmas in it. Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't dislike this episode. I won't say I was laughing too much at it. I got a few sort of, wry smiles and a few chuckles here and there. And I liked the Buddhism aspect of it, and I liked how it was sort of, not beating her over the head with like, this is the best religion, everyone should be following this shit. It was more like, I don't know, here's some interesting ideas you might want to check out.
I do think this was the least season 13-y of the season so far. Like there was nothing here, because the episodes we've done, Hug Burns and Love, I really enjoyed, but I feel like the other ones have sort of felt like a bunch of shit that was just thrown together and they've tried to sort of make it all work. This one didn't feel like that as much. At least, you had the rocket, but at least the rocket led to the church burning down. So at least all was one story, just continuing story. It wasn't just sort of all over the place. I know that we said that the commercialization of church sort of stopped, but at least that sort of merged into the Lisa story with her religion. So in that sense, it felt a lot more grounded than what's become a very wacky era of The Simpsons. And I did enjoy the episode. It's just when I read it's the Christmas episode, I want Christmas, and I didn't get Christmas.
Yes. You got a lump of coal in your stocking, essentially.
Yes, but still, I think Richard Gere's performance was. I know I said the word dull, but the more I look at the review, the more I do the review, it was perfect for what it needed to be. He's a Buddhist of all things. So yeah, I thumbs up. I did enjoy this episode.
What did we learn, Palmer?
So what did you learn from She of Little Faith, Mr. Davis?
What did I learn? I learned a lot about Buddhism. Actually, well, not a whole lot, but enough that I would kind of go, I should probably read a bit more about it. This, I mean,
which means the episode served its purpose.
It did, yeah. I mean, look, the main thing I took away from Lisa the Vegetarian is the line, "This is lamb, not a lamb," which I use all the time. What I took away from this episode, I didn't take away any things about vegetarianism or veganism or anything like that. Although, in all honesty, one probably should eat less meat. What I learned from this episode was, just a good sort of entry-level primer on the tenets of Buddhism, and I found that, pleasant and intriguing. How about yourself?
I learned that if you ever feel like you have too many children, just eat some of them.
Watch out, Holly.
From this day forward, your name shall be...
New names for this week, She of Little Faith, Mr. Davis. But before you do that, let's run through the new name leaderboard. I shall just get it up. Alrighty. So, in third position, we have Andrew Palicatti and Keith Nedham. In second position, on 4 points, Mark Boston Burgess. And in first position, both on 6 points, Garode Harrahill and Phil Hawkins. Take it away, sir. What are the notable mentions this week?
Well, a couple of honourable mentions before we get into Un, deux, trois. 1, 2, 3. I think the appearance of the Buddha and Buddhism in this episode gave a lot of opportunity for good wordplay. And as we've noticed with Dave Abbott-Smith giving us I Can't Believe It's Not Buddha.
That's very good. That's very good. I like it. Yeah.
And one that I like from our man Neil Parks, Faith Off 2 Electric Buddha Lou. So
that's very good.
There's a lot going on there, Neil. Both you and Dave are just shy of the 3-2-1, but a terrific, honourable effort by the both of you and by everyone else who, of course, supplied new titles. But there can be only 3, and out of that, who's getting 1 point? I'll tell you who it is. It's Josh Hedge.
Josh Hedge. Wow, he's now on
Indeed.
3 points, so he's equal third.
Indeed. Josh Hedge retitled this episode The Grand Buddha Pest Don't Tell.
Ooh, very good indeed. I like
That's pretty good, Josh.
Yeah.
That's not bad, is it? Now, 2 points go to Geroid Harrahill. Very apt. Richard Geroid Harrahill. Although I'm probably mispronouncing Geroid, so my apologies.
It's Geroid.
But Geroid gave us a really good one, actually, and I had to do a little bit of research into this. I had to do a bit of sort of Google translating kind of deal, but it was worth it because what he gave up was what he put up on the board was like a little symbol. When I looked that up, it's a symbol for Om, the Buddhism kind of, I don't know, mantra or whatever.
It's from Across the Universe Beatles song, right? Nothing's gonna change our world. Yeah.
That kind of deal.
Yeah.
Our man Gere gave us, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, because as Homer says it occasionally. So, yeah,
oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Very good.
Yeah, Gere puts the effort in. You know, props to Gere. But he didn't get 3 points this time around.
Who did? Tell me.
I'll tell you who did. Right after this. No. It's June Richards.
Ooh, June fucking Richards.
Excuse me?
Apparently it's June fucking Richards. I believe that's the name.
Funky?
Fucking.
June fucking Richards.
That's their stage name.
New to me. This is new to me.
It is. We'll get it right. Hang on. It is the iconic June fucking Richards. That is their name.
I stand corrected. The iconic June fucking Richards is atop the winner's dais this time around with the simple but effective coulda, shoulda, Buddha.
Oh, that's very good. Well done,
it's not
June.
Bad, is it? Nice one, June.
June's new to the Patreon team, so straight off the bat, there you go. Straight into the, not quite in third position, in fourth position, but 3 points. Well done. Well played.
Announcing a presence with authority. Well done, June. So yes, they are the new titles for this time around for, what's the episode? What's
She of Little Faith.
She of Little Faith. That's right. You know, get there. So these ones are so much better that I forgot the original title.
So in third position, we still have Mark Boston Burgess on 4. In second position, Phil Hawkins on 6. And Geroid Harrahill atop the leaderboard on 8 points. Still very, very close. We've got the iconic June fucking Richards, Josh Hedge, Keith Needham, and Andrew Palicetti all on 3 points in 4 positions. So everyone's close. So it's very, very good. I like it when it's a lot more closer. Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So stick around. It's now time for...
The mail is here!
Ooh. The mail is here. All right, Mr. Davis, we've got a few questions sent in this week. First one here comes from Andrew Palicetti. Seems to be always Andrew Palicetti. He's always first off the rank when it comes to the mailbag. He's hanging around for your post in the Patreon group. His first question is...
Why are you so curious, Andrew? What do you want to know?
His first question is, which famous 80s, 90s era actor would you like to see make a comeback? Take it away, Guy Davis.
Look, it's not a tough one to answer, but I mean, my answer for it may seem a bit odd because they're actually no longer with us. But I was always hoping that Luke Perry would make a bit of a comeback because I really dug his style when he was on 90210 back in the day. I liked the movies that he made when people realised, oh, this guy's got a bit of presence, and he sort of appeared in done sort of weird, sort of arty, unexpected projects. I mean, he was in the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, sort of playing the damsel in distress, to Christy Swanson's Buffy. And he was really fun in that, and this is a guy who probably could have written his own ticket at that stage and, been in action movies or whatever. But he's like, oh, no, I'll try a few different things. And then he sort of vanished off the radar for a little while, as teen idols tend to do. But when he made his comeback in the show Riverdale, again, it was like I was talking before about that whole actors sort of start to relax as they get a bit older and realise, I've got this in the toolkit and this, and, I don't need to work so hard. I do a little bit and people will come to me. He was aware of that, I think. And, he just had a good sort of chilled style in Riverdale. And then he had his bit part in Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And, listeners who have heard you and I and Mitch talking about that movie on previous episodes or previous sort of shows, they'll remember that I was so happy to see Luke Perry land a gig in a Tarantino movie. I just thought that was so rad for him. And you heard all the stories behind the scenes about how DiCaprio and Pitt, the biggest stars in the world, were all just stoked that Luke Perry was there, and they were a little starstruck. I thought that was just so neat, and it's a shame that that Luke Perry left us as quickly as early as he did, because I think he would have aged quite nicely into, I don't think he would have been a megastar again, but I think he would have worked consistently. I think he would have worked with interesting people, and I think he would have had a really neat kind of second act, so to speak. So, I don't know. He's the one who sort of leaps out at me, even though he's not here anymore.
His son is now my favourite pro wrestler, legitimately.
What is he called? Jungle Boy?
Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Fuck, mate, he's going to be a massive star. Oh, it's going to be fucking huge. His entrance theme is now Tarzan Boy.
I heard that. I remember that.
So the crowd all sings along, mate. Holy shit, it's going to be so good. Like he's only like 22 or something, but he's got Luke's looks, and he's got Luke's sort of, how Luke always come across like very mellow, very chill. So he's got very similar traits, but he's a really good pro wrestler, and he's obviously still young, so he's got room to improve, but he's going to be a massive star. But he's just such a likable kid, like Jungle Boy Jack Perry. Get on that bandwagon, man. He's going to be huge.
Oh, that's great. Actually, sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. But there's one other. I guess 90s was probably his thing, and he was in the wilderness for a while, but he's on the way back now. Is Wesley Snipes?
Yeah. What was he in recently? He was in a comedy recently, wasn't
he? He's in Coming to America, the sequel to Coming to America, which isn't great. I mean,
I've heard not very good things.
There's a lot of nostalgia in it that's kind of fun and nice, but the story is really just kind of weak. And I spent a fair bit of time on social media the other day talking to like-minded nerds about, we should have done this instead, or here's a way they could have gone. It could have been more interesting. But I think everyone agrees, like, oh, Wesley Snipes is in it, and he's so awesome, and he really is. He's very, very funny. He works well with Eddie. I mean, it's like, just Netflix, this is money lying on the ground. Just make like 5 buddy comedies with Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes. I will fucking watch all of them. I will upgrade my Netflix deal or whatever. Just do that. So
money lying on the ground. I love that.
Wesley Snipes, he's back, baby.
I've just looked at our running time for the card. We've got 4 minutes left. Do we have time to sneak in one more question? Let's do it. Let's try and cram one more in, shall we?
Let's do it, and I'll try to talk so much. Sorry.
Okay, so last question here. Nora, now is it Nora Cocker or Nora Coker?
I'm going to say Coker.
Okay.
And she'll probably get in our faces and say, that is not how you pronounce it.
So she says here,
and then she'll be upset because I use that accent.
This is a question you said you might not have an answer for, but it's basically, she says, what mostly permanent changes to the characters do you think worked best and what didn't? She watched this episode and realized how surprised she was that it took until season 13 for Lisa to become a Buddhist. She's also a little surprised watching season 5 and 6 and realizing that Lisa's still not a vegetarian yet. I do agree with that. I do think it's kind of jarring when you watch the early Simpsons and see her eating meat. It's like, oh yeah, she wasn't a vegetarian until like season 7 or season 6 or whatever. I think the character of Barney becoming sober didn't work. Didn't work.
Likewise, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one for me. If you think of ones that didn't work, that's the one that stands out to me because his whole humor came from the fact that he was like the town drunk, you know, and he was just the stereotypical drunk. And once you take that aspect away from him, it's like, well, what has he got?
Yeah, he's just a barfly who doesn't drink.
Yeah, he sort of feels uncomfortable being with his friends. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that for me is the one that didn't work. I do think Lisa becoming vegetarian is the one that worked the best for sure.
I am 100% in agreement with you on that. Lisa's changes have worked. Barney's change did not work.
Yeah, not at all. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for sending in your mailbag questions. We're sorry we didn't get to too many of them this week, but we are running out of time. I hope you enjoyed our review of She of Little Faith. Next week, we're going to be doing our review on the episode called, I believe it's Brawl in the Family. Another episode that I don't have too many memories of. So I believe this is definitely have to have been the time where I stopped watching The Simpsons every week because I know I've watched this episode, but I have no recollection of it. So maybe I watched these episodes, but I just went, I don't need to watch that one again. But, you know, I do look forward to watching it. So Brawl in the Family. I'm not even going to read the synopsis. I just want to go in fresh and just see whether I enjoy, see whether it entertains me. Don't forget, guys, to rate and review us in the iTunes store. We appreciate everyone who's already taken the time to do so. Chucked us 5 stars and left a few kind words. If you haven't done it yet, please do. I do read all the reviews, and it is, as I said, much appreciated. If you want this show a week early, as well as all our other podcasts, Talking Seinfeld's even like 4 or 5 weeks early, as well as access into our 4-figure discount revisited classics, where each month patrons decide an episode from the golden era for us to review. It's going to be a 4-figure discount patron, patreon.com/4-figure discount. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at 4-figure-pod and Instagram at 4-figure discount. But for now, Mr. Davis, any final words for our amazing, beautiful, chill listeners?
These words are more for you, Dando. Baking up that sausage, boy.
Sounds delightful.